Dum dum dum. We're going to do a video on mansplanations. Mansplanations, folks. That seemingly condescending, simple answer of me reciting information that you already know. And here is why. Here's why men and women do this. The question is probably BS. The question you've asked was probably not designed to get this very simple answer. It was probably hoping for something else, something that I could quote you to someone else. Say, hey, this guy said this. Is that how your organization believes? And you could tell right away too. When someone asks you a question, you give a very simple answer back, and they try another version of the same question when you've just answered it. They're hoping that you're going to add something or change some information, or say, well, not a lot of people know this, but half that's fake. Like that. The more questions you ask about this particular something or other. Malt liquor. The other thing too, when I mansplain stuff, some people are asking questions just to talk, and asking questions gives them control of the conversation. They get to pick the topic. You're forced to answer them. So sometimes, like especially when you can tell someone's not paying attention, and here's how it typically goes: someone says like, "Oh wait a minute, what did he say about half that being fake?" And the guy's like, what did you say about half that being fake? And I'm like, I just talked to you about it. About that being fake? Like, which part of that did you want me to go over again? And that's here, like, that's basically, like, it's like, that's a man's question. In that, basically, I'm saying, like, you haven't heard anything I've said. So why should I talk to you? It's like, the answers just get worse and worse. I become a worse and worse answer. More mansplanations that take longer and longer. Because like if I can make one answer take forever, you're less likely to ask like 6 or 7 follow-up questions that you're not listening to anyway. Yeah, people ask questions for conversational purposes, not actually to learn anything. They ask questions to hope to quote you and get you in trouble, or whoever or whatever, something that they could use later. There's one other thing too about mansplaining. I think. Oh, here's the thing. Justify yourself. A lot of questions are like, where have you been? Out. But like that's the thing. It's like, what did you like? The thing is like, well, you're late. Like, where have you been? Really, the actual information is, did you know you're late? It's a. So immediately, like when someone says, where have you been? You're like, why do they want to know where I've been? And so you like, you give them some sort of vagueness. Like that's like the whole thing of like the frustrating, condescending answer of a mansplanation. It's across the board. It's basically, I'm going to try not to give out any information. I'm going to say some vague stuff about being out, taking care of various projects, and going to different locations to assure that things that I needed were picked up and things that I did not needed were left behind. I put some stuff over by the other things. Oh God, that's the other thing too. The condescending explanation. The condescending misunderstanding, which is, hey, would you put that stuff over by the other things? I could probably figure out what they're talking about. But here's the thing that bugs me too, is that this is typically followed up by a correction. You to take whatever stuff that you were holding over by the stuff that you just put down, with this stuff with the other things. Like, oh no, you're gonna want to put that like it almost always inevitably leads to a correction. So I'm just like, I'm gonna need some nouns. What stuff? What's the stuff? What are those called? What are the other things? and where are they, and how would you like them put? Put that stuff by the other things. Man, I can't stand that. That's actually the worst, man. Someone can mansplain stuff to me all day long. Someone playing games with nouns, so they could also correct you. Fuck. That's essentially it. People don't say what they mean. People ask you questions and make you wish you hadn't answered them. People ask questions and they're not even listening to you. People are talking in vagueness, wondering what might happen, and when they see what is happening, they're like, well, yeah, that's not what I meant at all. But you can't really pin them down to that because their first sentence was so vague, you didn't even know what they were talking about. Oh, and I'm wearing a kilt. And I was going to keep it clean, but then I decided to wade across the water.